There's another player that I'm going to talk about right after this who I can't wait to see him on that stage.
We talking about Jalen Phillips?
Jalen Phillips. Man, Mark, you talk about a player who you go up the bat and you know that it's going to be a fastball. I mean, he's high in his pitch count, okay? Bases are loaded. You know for a fact he's going to give you a fastball. And you're going to knock this and hit the grandma in the stands. You can't, throw it. I'm telling you, throw it. Throw it if you want to. Comes right off that finger. Bing! I mean, that sound is like nothing else. That perfect hit on a home run. This is a home run player. Anybody who drafts Jalen Phillips, you're getting a home run player. Here's the problem, though. Okay. It could be a grand slam, or it could just be a home run. One of the two. Here's what I tell you. He's so confident in his playmaking. He's so confident in his athleticism that sometimes he freelances to make plays because he's just that athletic. So he can still make the plays, but there'll be times like North Carolina where he'll lose contain. There's times versus Clemson where he will lose contain because he's just so used to being able to peek inside and rip inside of the Virginia Tech right tackle, the Virginia right tackle, the Duke right tackle, where he's able to still make plays. Well, you're going up against the best of the best now, right? So things are a little different. When you look at his story, okay, you go from one of the number one recruits. You and Chase Smith are tit for tat, back and forth for the number one recruit in the class of 2017. Okay. A year or so into your UCLA career, you retired medically due to concussions. I mean, he had a wrist accident and all types of ankle injuries. His injuries started to really pile up, so he ends up retiring. He goes into fashion and music. Then he gets a second opinion, and he can get cleared if they give him a certain amount of time away from playing ball. Transfers, hit the transfer portal, comes to Miami. He gets to Miami, Mark. He's 220 pounds. He's taking pictures, and he just doesn't look like the same player. Coach Dave Feely and him get together, and they turn this young man from 220 pounds to 270 pounds in a calendar year. And it was gradual. Spring came around, he was like 240. Camp came around, he was like 265, somewhere in there. By the end of the season, he's like pushing 270, right? And now in prep, he's flushed it at like 267 and 270, somewhere in there for where he's going to play in the NFL. But I take you back to a time where it all could have been taken away from him. Versus Louisville. One of the dirtiest blocks I've seen in a long time. Okay, so it's read option, and the tight end comes from the backside. He's at H-back. He's coming from the backside, and he's going to cut the defensive end. So Jaelan stands up, and he gets in the stance while he's reading the QB. The Louisville tight end puts his helmet right on the side of his knee, and it almost pops out the other side. He's on the ground, and all of us are like hands and knees praying because that, number one, wasn't a dirty shot. I mean, it was disgusting, the shot that he took at him. But he was able to take the rest of that game off, come back, and have a pretty productive season for Miami. But what comes out of all of that you see in this young man, he's resilient. The question of does he love football was answered with his physique and with the way that he played this season. All right. Playmaking abilities, sacks, TFLs, all of that you could turn on the film and see with Jalen Phillips. But what makes me so excited about this young man's future is that he never gave up, Mark. He never once gave up. And I can only commend the young man because there's a lot of people, man, with size and athleticism and give effort and give great interviews. When a player can put all that together, they've had a lot of adversity in their life, and they've never folded. I really like those type of young men. So The makeup of Jalen Phillips, what was put together, his parents, they did a great job. Because that young man, he never once put his head down. He kept fighting, and now he's going to go from a year or so ago, retired, making rap songs and trying to come up with a design for a T-shirt, to a first-round NFL draft pick. What a story.
We talk Miami football here each and every week. Thursday, 4:30 Eastern time with a wholesome one right here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. So, folks, hit the like button. Don't be lazy. Don't just take. Give a little bit. Hit the like button. Share the videos out on social media. So think of it this way. People follow you on Twitter. They connect with you on Facebook and all sorts of other social media. They don't know that we're here talking college football every day. So share the videos, please, on social media. And, of course, subscribe right here. And also head on over to the Wholesome One's channel, Wholesome One Holloway, and subscribe at his channel as well. So a third defensive end is in the mix. Of course, Quincy Rochet, the transfer from Temple, who had led the American Conference in sacks his last year there, and more of a technician, correct?
Yes. Before we get into Quincy Rochet, do you want to answer this question on the screen, or do you want me to just go with Quincy?
Yeah. So we can move along through the questions here. Ronan had poked me a few times to let me know that he had left a super chat question. I missed it. The voice of college football and face of FCS football. I know it's pre-spring and fall, but ideally, Wholesome One, who would be your starting five along the O-line? Keep up the great work. Go Canes.
That's a good one, man. That's a good. The face of FCS football.
Ronan's got some good ones.
I tell you what. I remember the first time my parents caught me on camera here at NDSU. And oh my God. They sent me all these screenshots, like taking pictures of you're on TV. I'm like, yeah. The face of FCS.